Hey everybody, all the zodiacs. The 13th element, the 13th video. I felt during the videos that I need to explain how I read the cards. Like, what is my attitude towards them and towards the readings, and why I make certain choices. And also I felt like maybe I'm using language that I understand, and maybe readers and people who work with energy and intuitive healers understand. And maybe if you're just joining this world, maybe you don't know what it is that I'm talking about. And I feel like the need of, clarifying certain things, and also present myself to you and say hello. Happy February, happy Valentine's Day. My name is Morgainne. I refer to myself in the field of the occult as the existential shifter. It's not accurate to say that it's just in the field of the occult. It's in life in general. It sounds bigger than it is. It's just a matter of understanding existentialism, knowing that the power of choice that we have, freedom of choice, and how we can decide our characteristics and decide our behaviors and decide our patterns, and not be, not feel obligated for, the sense of self that we established throughout our lives. Because, our character, our sense of self is, a combination of our DNA, but with our culture and how we grew up, and our, the sum of our experiences. And then we wake up one day and we're like, oh, this is me. Okay, that's great. But you can also have alter me. It's all a choice. You can be stagnant and dogmatic about who you are, but you can be water and adapt. It's up to you which kind of attitude you want to take in your life. I choose the existential approach of, I have the power to shift and to change and to grow and to manifest freedom. And I feel like we all have that. So in my channel and in my videos, I will encourage you, to take that journey of self-discovery. And when I say self, I don't mean that dogmatic sense of self, of who and what you are. I mean everything that you are, your potential, your full potential of manifestation and freedom, of discovery, of life, and of who you are. And that's the general guidelines of my videos and of the way I teach and speak and guide. And you can connect to it, and that's great. I would love to have you on this journey. And you can also feel like it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't match who you are, and you can move on, and that's also okay. But I like to present myself as such, as the existential shifter. I also write philosophical and spiritual segments. I have an Instagram account. It's called Existential Shifter. You are welcome to look me up and to, follow. But mostly I will discuss matters of the spiritual and of the occult and of the astrology here in the videos. What else? If you are a reader and you're watching my video and I say something about a card or about a combination of cards, and you're like, but wait, this means this actually by the book, or I know that this card actually means that, and their combination can also say this and that. Yes, you are correct. But I have developed my own language with the cards, and that comes with time and experience. And that is something that every reader has. Their own language with the cards. A sense of understanding. I see how the elements speak with each other and how the characters speak with each other. And I also take the numerological values of the cards, and I look into many levels of the card. I look into the Greek mythology and to the psychology. There's Jungian psychology in them, and I look into the neurological cognitive aspect of them. I bring in my own knowledge and experience. Obviously, we're never actually 100% objective. It's impossible objective. I look at so many elements, and I look from my experience with them. So I have my way of interpreting them. And also, sometimes I will just make a choice of like, okay, I can't possibly say all the narratives and all the meanings and speak to everybody because it's a general reading. So I will see what pops up mostly and what I feel is really important and has like a really positive, high vibration, you know, a moral to it. And I will choose to focus on that narrative. And that is okay because it's my video, right? And you can, this is something that I do, by the way, when I watch other readers and other videos of readers that I like. They can speak their truth and what they see from the cards, but I will see the cards my way and I will interpret them the way I interpret them, and that is okay because this is a general reading and everybody takes what they can take out of it. You take what resonates with you, what connects with your narrative, and what you don't, you leave behind, and that is so much okay. You know, maybe there are other layers to the way I interpret the cards for sure, and I see them most of the times. I see them. I can't possibly give the 100% interpretation of each card and give all optional narratives because it will never end. Trust that if you are in tuned to a certain video, then it speaks to you and there's something you can take from it. You are one of the characters. You are some of the energy. If I say her, it can mean him. If I say him, it can mean her. Okay, there's just the energy of the feminine. There's the energy of the masculine, but it's a general reading. So just like adapt it to your story. What else? I've been reading tarot for officially about 13 years. I've been doing it professionally for a really long time. I co-wrote a book about tarot actually in Israel. My teacher, Sagi Mendelboim, wrote Madrich lekriya b'klafei tarot, a guide to reading tarot cards. And I'm a co-writer. And I have my page right here with my biography. This is me. Now, yeah, it's in Hebrew, so most of you can't read it. You can see here Morgainne, and just my picture. I don't have my bangs here. So yeah, I've been doing this for years. Private sessions, groups, bachelorette parties, anything you can imagine. And I've been doing this simultaneously to my career as an actress. I'm an actress. I'm a host, occasionally a producer. And this is a great platform for me to combine all these abilities and just, you know, aspects of me that I love. Because I get to speak to you and say my truth, but also use the cards. What are these cards, in case you don't know and you want to know? A classic deck, which is what I normally read, consists of 78. Oh, I'm sorry, drama. Consists of 78 cards. They are divided into two main groups, the minor arcanas and the major arcana. Arcana is an advisor. Minor arcana will be the cards that are represented by the elements: air, fire, earth, and water. You know, the wands, the swords, the cups, and the pentacles. And the minor arcana basically represents characters in our life, ourselves, daily events, the 3D, the third dimension, the physical world, the tangible world as we know it. And the major arcana, the big advisor, 22 cards that represent the spiritual journey that we go through throughout our life. I want to take my hair down because I feel like it. I liked it at first and now I just want to talk. I get to do that, right? What do I mean by 3D? 3D is the third dimension, what we see, our reality, the things that we can touch and grasp with our four senses, with our sight, with our hearing, with our smell, with our touch. The third dimension, the up, the down, right, left, the space, forward, backwards. We still don't grasp the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, other dimensions that physics claim to exist, but also in the spiritual world, which is where I come from when I speak of it. Our soul, our energetic body, our ethereal body exists in another dimension. We can't see it, we can't necessarily understand, we can feel it because it's a part of us, but it exists in a different dimension. What exists in our dimension, our matrix, is the 3D, the reality that we live in. So when I say something like, oh, this, I see this in the 3-dimensional versus this, what I see in the 5th dimension, what I see in the 3rd dimension is what I see in reality, actual events, actual tangible things that we can relate to, versus the 5th dimension, where I probably speak of something more spiritual, where our soul path, our soul journey, things, a truth that already exists in potential and in spirituality and in destiny, but it hasn't maybe manifested yet. In reality, what we see isn't always what is. Someone can tell us something, a certain truth, and this is the 3rd dimension, right? It's what is being said to us clearly, but maybe there's other intentions behind it. Maybe there's something they're hiding. Maybe there's something they're not aware that they're hiding, because their soul's on a different level than their physical existence, and they're not, tapped into it yet. And that's okay. It's part of our journey to have our cognitive tap into our conscious tap into our subconscious, to have our physical understanding tap into our spiritual understanding, to create balance. To understand a little bit how you can relate to it. Take a worm. A worm understands existence in 2 dimensions. It lives on a flat surface on the ground. It understands forward, backwards, right, and left. It doesn't have the understanding of space. Up, down, it just doesn't grasp it. In the same way the worm lives in 2 dimension and doesn't understand 3 dimension, we live in a 3 dimension. And we don't necessarily understand other dimensions. Does it mean that they don't exist just because we can't grasp it? Just because we can't comprehend? No, there are many things that we can't comprehend. There's a big, big world out there and in there that we're not aware of, we're not connected to. But it's there, and it's part of our journey of discovery. Science helps us discover things that used to be impossible or fantasy oriented. Now they are science. It's just a matter of time until science gives a stamp, or an understanding or how it works. We can feel that something exists. We always felt that there was air, but we never saw it. We breathe it in, we breathe it out. But we needed to discover in a tangible way that it actually exists, even though it was always inside of us and around us. Same goes the way I see it to the spiritual world, to energy. It's there. We just need to give it a stamp. And I feel like that about so many things, if not about everything. I basically believe in anything until it's proven that it's wrong. As long as it's not proven to be wrong, I potentially believe in it, because I know how limited my understanding of reality is. I know how limited it is. I know that we've only discovered, neurology-wise, we've only discovered maybe 10% of our brain. We don't know most of what there is to know about the human mind. There is so much to discover, but it's there. It's not that we need to invent. We need to discover what already exists. And I find that the cards help me tap into that. To see the 3rd dimension, the reality as we know it. To see the 5th dimension, the potential, the spiritual, the journey of the soul. And I use them to bring that truth to you guys. I try anyway. And you don't have to agree with everything I say. I'm not the ultimate truth. I'm a messenger, and I speak from my own experience, which is sometimes, if not all the time, subjective, because we're all always subjective. I like to say the number of truths as the number of sets of eyes. Take a plant, put it on the ground. You will see a plant. You will see leaves and branches. But a plane from above comes. The pilot will see a tiny dot, if any. Throw it in the water. A shark will see red infralight. not going to see the shape of the plant. It's going to see its heat. Everyone sees things differently. They are what they are. It's just a matter of perception. The plant is what it is, but, you know, if a worm climbs it or an ant climbs it, it sees this gigantic thing. Like you were to see a building if you were to climb a building or a mountain. That's a plant for an ant. So the plant is the plant. It's what it is, but it's also endless amount of other things. None of it is wrong. Everything is true. I don't believe in one truth. There is one truth and just different ways of looking at it and understanding it. There's the essence of what I say, and there's different ways of saying it. I can speak English, I can speak Hebrew, I can speak Spanish. I still say the same thing, but for someone who doesn't understand Spanish, if I'll start speaking in Spanish, it will sound like gibberish, and maybe it doesn't mean anything. It means something, you just don't understand it. You don't know how to understand the language. So I don't appreciate, you know, judgment of ideas and things based off of your knowledge. I think we need to be humble in eyes of history, you know, to see the things that as humanity we knew as a fact, but then discovered elsewhere. And, you know, and be able to look at it like that maybe today we know certain things, but we don't know other things. That doesn't cancel their existence. So be open-minded for discovery. You can't learn if you already know it all, and you never really know it all. So I'm in awe with life, with spirituality, with science, with psychology, with the third dimension, with the fifth dimension, everything that exists or that could exist. And I'm in constant growth and constant search and discovery. And that allows magic to enter my life because I believe in the endless possibilities. So then when something impossible and infinite happens, I'm like, ah, and I give it room. So I guess I will be encouraging you to give room to magic. There's a phrase that says that magic is indeed all in your head, but your head is a lot bigger than you know. You know, that connects to us having this brain that is like a metonymy of the universe, like Orion's belt. It's like a drop in the sea. If you test it biology-wise, if you look with a microscope, it will consist of the same matter that the entire ocean is made of. This is a drop, this is the ocean, but it's a metonymy. Micro and the macro. The brain is the micro of the cosmos, the universe, that is the macro. And there's so much yet to discover about our own mind and about the universe. So breathe in and understand that you can't possibly know it all from this point of view. Like you're the worm right now, thinking in two dimension, you can't grasp the 3D. You're in 3D and you can't grasp right now the other dimensions. And that's okay. As long as you understand that there are things that you don't know and you are willing to discover. I want to help you discover. I feel like we are going through a massive shift, evolution in our awareness. And we are being called by the divine. Call it how you call it. God, Spirit, Universe, Gaia, Mother Nature. Whatever you believe in, it's all legit. As long as it inspires you to search for the truth and to be the best version of yourself and with no judgments to others and without hurting others, then it's legit. And I feel like that, I call it spirit. I call it divine. So when I say that, you can know that that's what I mean. Anything that you believe in that is inspiring, truthful, and positive. I feel like spirit is really calling us to wake up. And there's very little patience now. It's no more of, let's take years to realize things. Let's be stuck for years in a karmic relationship that we're supposed to grow out of, but we're not learning the lesson, or we learned the lesson, but out of fear we stay there. I feel like the universe doesn't have patience for that anymore because it wants us to step closer into the light. I feel like the journey that we go through here as a soul and a physical body is the discovery of our own light. so we can vibrate on a higher frequency, just to bring us back to source, just to go back to the divine, to God, to the light, to become energy. I feel like this is why we come back. I believe in reincarnation, and I believe that we keep coming back here, only in different body, just to keep learning the lessons and clearing karma. And little by little we evolve and we vibrate on a higher and higher frequency. We have more and more energy, more and more understanding of our existence, of light. And we become closer to divinity and infinity. And at one point when we are enlightened, maybe we go back to the light. Maybe we graduate from this earthly world, from this earthly body, and we get to be spirit of light. Maybe. It's a theory. I wasn't there. But it's just what resonates with me. It's just what I genuinely believe in. And if you believe in something else, that doesn't mean that you can't tap into what I say sometimes. It's okay. Maybe we're just speaking different languages to describe the same thing. Right? I speak my truth, and sometimes it's not easy to hear. I'm not going to say what you want to hear. I will say what I feel like you need to hear. If you can handle it, stick around. If you can't, I don't want to hear. I don't want to read nasty comments. Like, what does it give you? I think it's really, really. Are you bored? If you don't like it, move on to the next reader or to the next video. Well, you're literally sitting writing how much I suck. Go and make your own videos that don't suck in your eyes. Go and create instead of judging. There's no room for that. I don't care. I don't need 10,000 views of 9,000 nasty asses that send negative vibe towards me. I'd rather have 1,000 views of beautiful spirits. Quality over quantity. Okay? You align with me? Great. You want to learn from me? Amazing. You want to support this channel? Thank you so much for your faith and your trust. But if not, just let's part as friends or not as friends. It's okay. Letting go is a big, big, big challenge for us humans because we're scared to lose our existence here. So we hold on to things. Don't hold on to me if it doesn't resonate. Stick around if it does, because I will inspire you and I will push you forward and I will help you become the best version of yourself to the best of my abilities, to the best of my knowledge. I will give. So I need positivity and patience and maturity to handle a truth that isn't always comfortable. What, you want me to just always tell you good stuff? Come on. I will always find a way to be productive and encourage you to be proactive and tell you what you can do to change, to better yourself. Always. But I'm not going to lie about the current situation. You're not going to get that from me. What else? I also do numerology and Reiki, intuitive healing. Sometimes I just get the knowledge. I'm also a martial artist. I do karate. Helps me focus. What else? I'm on this journey just as much as you are. I'm a teacher and I'm a student. We are all teachers and students simultaneously. We always have something to give someone else, and we always have something to learn from someone else. So please, if I say something that doesn't feel right or that you don't connect with, trust your intuition, trust your inner guidance. You know better than anyone about your life if you're an aware person. If you're not, if you're a detached creature, then I don't know. You know. Yeah, I don't pretend to know everything about your life. For me to be more accurate and specific, you're welcome to come to me for a private reading. I do private readings in New York City. And if you're not local to New York, then Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp. It's really, really easy. You can email me. My email is on the bottom. And yeah, I'm really excited for this journey. Other things that now I recall that I tend to repeat, that sometimes people don't understand. What is the difference between a karmic relationship, a soulmate, and a twin flame? I bet you guys are hearing this a lot recently, especially we're used to hearing karma, we're used to hearing soulmates. What is this twin flame that everybody keeps talking about? Maybe you haven't heard of it, but I have this nice analogy that I like to give. I feel like karmic relationship is, you know, relationship with people, any sort of romantic relationship, friendships, anything. It's someone you just encountered in the street for a second or for a lifetime, whatever. It's people in our life that were in our lives, whether in this lifetime or another lifetime, that there's an unresolved issue. Something that needs to be fixed. We need to learn the lesson so we can move on and grow. Right? We finished the first grade, now we need to go to the second grade. We learned what we need to learn, you know, finish the test, but we can't stay there. It's temporary. If we stay there, we're stuck. And those karmic relationships can be out of any soul family. It could be out of your soul family. It could be someone external, an external soul that isn't from your group. Karmic relationships. They can be very intense, either for a brief moment or for years. It's very hard to disconnect from them. All of the above, soulmates, karmics, twin flames, they show you your shadows because we grow from every connection. And ourself reflects to us through someone else's eyes. But in karma, it's usually very negative. It's usually not positive, not constructive, brings you down. Something that you are supposed to learn from and release. Sometimes I see people get stuck. I was like that in the past. Sometimes you get stuck for years in a karmic relationship. Learn, move on. For example, just because you have karma with someone, or you, it's like, okay, I know I was with this person in a past lifetime. We share karma, therefore it's destiny. We have to be together. I'm sorry, you also had a boyfriend or a girlfriend back in high school. So if you meet them in the street, does that mean you have to now get married just because you used to be together? So if not in this lifetime, just because you were together in high school, why in a past lifetime long ago when you guys didn't really, you know, it's over. Maybe there's something that maybe you encounter each other in the street because you just have something to say to each other, or you need to, you know, have a certain closure within yourself or with the other person, and that's it. Move on. Karma. Soulmates. You can have several soulmates at a lifetime, as I believe anyway. It can be romantic relationships, it can be family, it can be family members, it can be best friends. People who are part of your soul family. You resonate on the same frequency, you understand each other. You can choose to spend a lifetime with a soulmate. You can choose not to, because they have their own path, you have your own path. It's separate, you know, it's the same family but separate souls. So you can marry one and be happy, but you can also not marry them. You don't have to. It's a choice. It can be a soulmate that is very karmic, so it's very difficult and hard and deep and hard to detach from, but not necessarily someone that you want to spend your entire life with. You just need to learn something. Like cousins, you know. You have a lot to learn from each other, but you always generate shit within each other, so no, you can't hang out all the time. Soul family, soulmates. And then there's twin flames. Twin flame is you. It's a part of you. It's not separate out of you. You can't be without them. Once you meet your twin flame, that is destiny. Because yeah, you can live without your arm, but there will always be something missing. And it's out of survival because you have to, but you prefer to live with it because it makes you feel complete in a way, right? We are adaptable. We are surviving creatures. We can do anything without anything and with anything. But ideally, with a sense of belonging, we want to feel complete. We want to be with the other part of our soul, with ourselves. Not everybody gets to meet their twin flame in a lifetime. It's only when you are ready. It's only when you have resolved most of your karma, and then you have a little bit more of closure to do with other people in your life, with other events in your life, and then you can come to union. But you can't unite with your twin flame. That's why sometimes a journey of once you meet your twin flame, it can be a journey of years or just a very difficult journey, because until you both resolve all your karma, and until you both are resonating in your highest frequency, meaning you are on your path, you are fulfilling your destiny, you are connected to yourself cognitively, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, you know who you are, you know what you are as a spirit, as a soul, as a light. You are on your path, and then when you're on your path and they are on their path, it's the same path, so then you can walk it together. But if you're on a different path and you're not following your true essence, and if they're on they're a different path and they're not following their true essence, if you both are detached from your elements, from your nature, and you're not following, your calling, then you won't meet. Or you will be in each other's lives, but you won't unite. Maybe one of you is already ready. Maybe one of you is already walking their path and is on the journey, on the way, on the place. But the other is still kind of messing around with karmic relationships, karmic people, events, fears. They have things to solve. Normally, even if you think you're a twin flame, that you're completely on your path and you're just ready for them to resolve their thing and come on over, normally, it's not true. Normally, it means it's a sign that you also have more things to resolve. So think about it. If you know with certainty that who your twin flame is, and you feel like you're ready, but they're still messing around, try to think what you can do to progress in that journey. What karma you have still to resolve. What growth do you still have to do? What kind of thing do you need to learn? What is there for you to heal? To heal. And when you heal, they heal, because you're the same, right? Your vibration affects them directly, and their vibration affects you directly, because it's the same soul. Allegedly, in the 3D, the third 3D, you are separate creatures, right? Separate bodies, but you are the same soul in the 5D. You're already united. I will leave it at that because my battery is running low, so that's my cue to finish this video. Morgainne, the Existential Shifter. I will be posting 12 videos every month. Maybe I will keep doing this 13 element video thing every month if I have something specific to say. For now, I did it for February. Happy February, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you'll subscribe and join me on my journey. Yeah, I'll see you around, I guess. Thank you for staying tuned in and for trusting in me. Love you. Bye.